The Northeast Louisiana Children's Coalition hosted Harvest Under the Stars today. Jasmine Bingham has a look at what it had to offer.
This is the second year the coalition has hosted Harvest Under the Stars, which is a farm-to-table event that encourages healthy eating habits.
The fundraising event featured live music from groups like Honey Child and Hidden Tracks, with food from Chef Pat Nolan and TikTok sensation Brittany Camille. Guests had access to a VIP Patron section and the Origin Bank Family Garden. A member of the coalition says proceeds will benefit the garden and go towards tax readiness season, which gives business owners money back on their taxes from their donation.
How important it is around nutrition education, because this will be the first time in history that children may not outlive their parents because of obesity and food insecurities. On the garden and continue to have free services for children and families. However, it's a dual purpose because it's kicking off our school readiness tax credit period as well.
For more information on how to donate, visit the Northeast Louisiana Children's Coalition website. In Monroe, Jasmine Bingham,